So far we have studied the logical diagram of a D flip-flop, clocked D flip-flop like this. Here at the input of this we are giving edge clocking, and these inputs are applied like this. And this is the SR latch which makes any decision for what will happen at the output. Okay. Now this total circuitry of this D flip-flop, if we encapsulate it in one unit, if I encapsulate it in one unit, then what input and output I will visualize. Now I am showing a single block like this. This is the zoomed version of this block. Okay. You will see that this is one input, this is a clock input, and you have Q and Q bar as output. Okay. This will form a single bit memory. This is a single bit memory also. Okay. Simplest form of storing 1 and 0. Just by making copy of such single bits, if you make 8 copy of such single bit, you are going to design a byte memory, one more bit. Okay. If you take these D inputs and Q outputs like this, if you assume that you need to store a byte, then the bit combination of that byte is applied over here, and you will get the stored value at the output. Okay. Getting my point? And if you make 1000 copies of such bytes, if you make 1000 copies of these bytes, you can realize 1 KB of memory. 1 KB of memory. And if you make further 1000 copies of those 1 KB block, 1000 copy of 1 KB block, you are going to realize 1 MB memory. Okay. Now you have realized a block of 1 MB memory. Now if you further make the 1000 copy of that 1 MB block, you are going to realize 1 GB memory. Okay. And now if you make 32 copy of that 1 GB memory, you are realizing 32 GB memory, 64 GB memory. That is already in your pocket in the form of your cell phone or whatever. Okay. Now suppose in some processing you wish to make output of all these memory elements to be equal to 0. You wish to clear or you wish to format your memory. You wish to format your memory and you wish to make the content of all the memory cells to become 0. What is the way? What is the way? There is one very simple way which may appear to you, that you will pick up this bit and apply 0 at D and you will get 0 at the output. This way you can make all the bits 0, but this is not a very intelligent action. If you have to make the content of the whole block at 0. Okay. This is wisely done by inserting another input in this flip-flop. How it can be done? This is done by inserting another input, another fresh input. As suppose I am inserting an input over here and an input over here. Okay. This input is known as preset and this input is known as clear. Okay. Suppose if I apply 0 over here and 1 over here. Okay. If I apply 0 over here and 1 over here, then I need not to see what has been applied at D or what has been applied at clock. I need not to worry about what has been applied at this steering gate. This is called steering gate. Okay. This output will definitely become 1 and this output will definitely become 0. Whatever was the earlier condition, suppose the earlier condition was 0, 1, suppose it was 0, 1. Then what will happen? Okay, this 0 is going to make it 1. This 0 at this input is going to make it 1. And this 1 and this 1 coming over here is going to make it 0. Okay. So, it is going to make it set. It is going to set the output. Okay. And when it happens, when you are applying 0 at the preset, this means this preset is active low input. Then when this preset becomes 0, this circuit sets, and when this clear becomes 0, you see what will happen. If this clear becomes 0 and this becomes 1, in this situation what will happen? Naturally, this will become 1 and this will become 0. In this situation, this circuit clears. You take one-to-one similarity between set reset name, earlier it was known as set reset flip flop. Okay. Now I am saying preset and clear. There is one-to-one relationship between this and this. Okay. In fact, we are inserting that SR input over here. This asynchronous SR input, a separate SR input has been inserted over here. Getting my point? And this SR input is known by the name preset and clear, because it has now a different application. It is used to preset all such D flip flops in a single clock tick or in a single action, not a clock tick. Why? Because we have now a preset input and clear input, as well for these D flip flops. If we insert an input like this, definitely we have the pins corresponding to this preset pin and clear pin. Okay. And all the preset pins of all these D flip flops in 1 GB memory, they are tagged together, 1 GB, 2 GB, whatever. They are tagged together, and the clear pin, they are also tagged together. So, suppose if I wish to format my memory, what I will apply at the clear input, I will say I'll apply 0, and when I apply 0 at the clear input, it will make output of all the D flip flops to be equal to 0. This way my memory is formatted in a single attempt. The whole set of memory, whether it is 32 GB, 64 GB or a terabyte, this has been formatted. This is all cleared. Okay. And complementary action we can also perform. This means we can set also. Okay. So, this is an asynchronous input which is applied for the presetting and clearing action, and this way this has got the highest priority among all the input. Now, you see how many inputs we have. If we observe the same thing in our JK flip flop, what is there in JK flip flop? This is our JK flip-flop. Already it has J input, K input, clock input, okay, and Q bar the output. We have three inputs. Clock, J, K. But here we are inserting, you see, this is simply a set reset input. And if you forget all the other things, this is now a set reset flip flop. And since this input has been inserted over in this configuration, now it is known as preset input and clear input. And that too preset bar and clear bar. Why? Because it presets or it sets this circuit if 0 appears over here. Okay, you make a 0 over here. This is definitely going to make this output 1. Whatever is available at other input, it is not going to make any harm. This will be definitely 1. So this is going to set this circuit. Getting this thing or not? So we have two extra inputs, that is preset and clear. Now it is a 5 input situation. J, K, preset, clear and clock. Okay. Now suppose if preset is 0, clear is 1, preset is 0, clear is 1, whatever appears at clock, whatever is there at the clock, this is not going to make any decision for the output which is imposed by this preset and clear condition. This Q and Q bar, whatever appears at J and K, it is also not going to make any harm. This Q and Q bar will be equal to 1 and 0. Getting this thing? Suppose if this preset and clear happens to be 1, 0, then this is rising edge, falling edge, high level, low level, whatever clock is there. J is 0 or 1, K is 0 or 1, this is going to become 0, 1. This means this Q is going to be cleared. This is going to be cleared. Now what will happen? What will happen if we apply 0, 0 over here? 0, 0 over here? It is going to give you 1, 1. And this should be avoided. This should be avoided. This is called race condition at the output. Okay? But if 1, 1 appears over here, you see, now the situation, 1, 1 appears over here, 1, 1. Now it is opening this channel for J and K. If 1, 1 is here, now it is opening the channel for J and K to make any change to the output. Getting my point? So 1, 1 enables, making 1, 1 at the input preset and clear, enables this total circuitry and enables this J, K and clock input to make any change to the output. Okay. So to perform any action through this JK flip-flop which is having preset clear input, this preset and clear inputs should be equal to 1, 1. Okay. You should always take care of this while performing your lab with JK flip-flop if it is having preset and clear input. Okay. Now I will derive suppose we have JK flip-flop. I am going to write the characteristic table for JK flip-flop. We have already written the characteristic table of SR flip-flop and D flip-flop, and we have derived the characteristic equation for SR flip-flop and D flip-flop. So while writing the characteristic equation, we will consider only 3 input situation, J, K and Qn, because Qn is feeded back as an input. Okay. So if J is 0, K is 0, and all the favorable condition, we imagine that all the favorable condition exist at the clock input. And what is that favorable condition? This rising edge. Okay. This is the only favorable condition. Other favorable conditions are not favorable, in fact, because they are not allowing this J and K input to make any change. Okay. So if J is 0, K is 0, and Qn was 0, this present state is 0. Naturally, this input condition is not going to make any change at the output. This means Qn plus 1 will be equal to 0. Getting my point? Qn plus 1 means what will happen the output at the next moment. Okay. On the combination of all the inputs. So if suppose J is 0, K is 0 and Qn was 1, the present state is 1, then what will happen? It will remain 1 because it is not going to make any change to the output. But suppose if J is 0, K is 1 and present state was 0. Present state was 0, so it will be 0 because this 0 1 will make Qn to be equal to 0. And suppose if it is 0 1 and it was 1, present state is 1, so it is going to become 0. Getting my point? If suppose this J was 1 and K was 0, okay, and this Qn was 0, Qn was 0, this was 0, what will happen to this? This will become 1. Naturally, this will turn to 1. And suppose if we had applied 1 0 and it was 1, it will remain 1. Getting my point? Now suppose if we had applied input 1 1 and output was 1, this is 1 we applied over here, and we should write it as output was 0, okay, just to make the proper flow. Okay. So if it was say the output was 0, then what will happen? It will toggle, means it will change its state, means it will become 1. Getting my point? And if we apply 1 1 and it was 1, then it will become 0. This is the characteristic table which shows the overall behavior of this circuit. Now naturally this is a 3 input 1 output situation. We can make a K map corresponding to this. Okay. How can we make this K map? Qn plus 1. Okay. So better to take this J bar and J over here, J bar and J, and K bar, Qn bar, K bar, Qn, KQn and KQn bar. Am I right? Am I right? So which mean term is this? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, okay, this is 4, 5, 6 and 7. Where there are 1? At 1. All right. Then at 4, at 5 and at 6. Am I right? So what will be the minimized function? Is it correctly placed or not? You see, it is correctly placed or not? One group is this, one group is this, okay, and one group is this. Am I right? Correct or something wrong? Correct or something wrong? You tell me. Correct. This will give you the prime implicant P1. This will give you the prime implicant P2. This is going to give you prime implicant P3. Okay. Is there any non-essential prime implicant you see? This group, this in blue colored circle, is it essential or non-essential? Non-essential, because it does not contain any fresh one. So this way you are going to make a wrong combination, you are going to get a wrong output. So only P1 and P2 are correct, P3 should not appear in the output. Okay, getting my point? So Qn plus 1 is equal to what? K bar Qn plus K Qn bar. What is there? You see K is changing J. J is there, okay? J Qn bar. J Qn bar. This is the characteristic equation. J Qn bar plus K bar Qn. Okay. This is the characteristic equation of your JK flip flop. If you insert this term, it will be a extra term. Okay. Now you see the T flip flop. In T flip flop we have two inputs Qn and T and one output Qn plus 1. Okay. So suppose, rather better to put T over here and Qn over here. If suppose T was 0 and Qn was 0, T was 0 means in fact it is a JK flip flop. In fact it is a JK flip flop. Both the inputs are tagged together. This way we say this to as a T flip flop. So if I am saying T equals to 0, this means J is equal to 0 and K is equal to 0. And when J is equal to 0, K is equal to 0, no change is observed at the output. This means this 0 remains 0. Getting my point? And if this applied input is 0 and present state is 1, what is the next state? It is still not going to make any change at the output. This means it will remain 1. If this is 1 and this output is 0, this is 1, what will happen? It will toggle. It will toggle. If 1 1 is here, the output will change its state on the occurrence of this spike. Okay. So this will become 1. Now suppose this is the situation that 1 has been applied and 1 was there at the output. What will happen? On the occurrence of this spike, means positive edge, it will toggle, means 1 will become 0. This is a 2 input 1 output situation. So how it can be mapped? For Qn plus 1, we are making a map for Qn plus 1. So naturally T bar and T and Qn bar and Qn. Am I right? This is 0, okay, and this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. Okay. So 1, at 1 it is 1 and at 2 it is 1. So no way we can make any combination. So this and this, they are independent. This means Qn plus 1 equals to what? T bar Qn plus T Qn bar. This is the characteristic equation of your T flip flop. Getting my point? This is the characteristic equation of your T flip flop. Now there is one more thing. excitation table. Okay, you see, well, you see, we have the SR flip flop. Its present state is known by the name Qn, and its next state is known by the name Qn plus 1. What will happen to the next moment? You see, in fact, this present state can have value either 0 or 1. Similarly, next state can also have value either 0 or 1. It can take value from this set, and this can also take value from this set. Okay. Suppose present state was 0, present state is 0, and we wish to make it 0 in the next state also. We wish to make it 0 in the next state also. What should be the input applied to fulfill this condition? Okay. What should be the input which should be applied, which will guaranteed make this transition at the output? You tell me. 0 0 is not going to show any change at the output, and since this output is 0 and we are willing to make it 0 in the next state also, so naturally SR 0 0 is going to fulfill this output transition. Okay. Am I correct or not? Not only 0 0, but 0 1 is also going to fulfill this situation. If I apply 0 over here and 1 over here, this is also, and if it was 0, this will remain 0. Okay. So, to make this transition of 0 which is available in the present state to the 0 in the next state, what we need to apply at S is 0, and what we need to apply at R is anything 0 or 1, is anything 0 or 1. This means if we make a fresh table Qn and Qn plus 1 and S and R, this means if we are interested in this transition, so we have to apply S 0 at S and don't care at R. Okay. Now suppose if we are willing to have this kind of transition, this means 0 is there as a present state, but we are willing to make it 1 as a next state. Some of our design demands this transition. Then what will happen? What should be applied? What should be applied? 0 1 is going to make this transition? No or yes? No. 1 applied over here and 0 applied over here is going to make this transition. Okay. So 1 should be applied over here and 0 should be applied over here to make this transition possible. Okay. Now suppose 1 was there as a present state, 1 was there as a present state, and we wish to make 0 in its next state. What should be applied? What should be applied? 0 1. Okay. Only 0 1 can fulfill 0 1 input can fulfill this condition, so that it can make a transition from 1 to 0. This means we are willing to make a transition from 1 to 0, we should apply 0 1. Okay. And if 1 was the present state and we wish to make a transition and make it 1 in the next state also, and what should be applied? What should be applied? 0 0 is going to fulfill this condition because it will not make any change, and 1 is there, 1 has to be there. Okay. So 0 0, And what is next? 1 0. If we apply 1 at the S input, okay, this will make it 1, and 0 at the R input, it will make it 1. Okay. So 0 0 or 1 0, both is going to give you the same effect. So 0, definitely 0 at the R input, and don't care at the S input. This means if you have to make this kind of transition, don't care at S and 0 at the R should be applied. Getting this thing? Now this table for SR flip-flop is known as excitation table of SR flip-flop. Why? Because we are knowing the output transitions, and these are the possible output transition. These are the all possible output transition that Qn can take to become Qn plus 1. Okay. And to fulfill these output transitions, what we need to apply, how we need to excite this S and R, this is written in this table. Okay. Getting this thing? This table is needed while designing many sequential circuit or state machines. Okay. If we wish to design a state machine using SR flip-flop, then this table is always needed. Similarly, if we wish to design any state machine, what this state machine is, I will explain you later in my lectures. Any state machine using JK flip-flop, in that situation we need excitation table of JK flip-flop. If we wish to design any sequential machine or any state machine using T flip-flop, in that situation we need excitation table of T flip-flop. Similarly, D flip-flop. Okay. I will explain one by one each and every excitation table in my coming lectures.